Play that music, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
You already know. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wash Nuggets podcast. The Nuggets are streaking.
We're streaking, baby.
The Wash Nuggets are streaking. Welcome back to the Dub Club. This is your place to be for weekly Nuggets content. If you haven't already, go down below, hit that subscribe button. This is your place to be. Like I said, weekly Nuggets content. If you haven't already, follow us on the socials. We're putting out shorts, having a lot of fun doing it. As always, today I'm joined by Matty Ice. Matthew Hinnon, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, man. Excited. Nuggets are on a heater, and we're here to break it all down for you.
They are on a heater, a 7-game heater. Last week when we spoke, we were only on a 4-game heater. Great to have the Nuggets, winning games. It ties their longest streak of the season at 7, hoping to extend it to 8 on a game on Saturday in San Antonio. But we got a lot of topics to discuss tonight, including that 7-game heater. Jamal continuing to shine. Is Jamal the best option for the Nuggets? Listen and find out. We also got Nuggets are kind of banged up right now, so we'll go into a little bit more of an in-depth fall damage reports. Kind of been all season long. The Nuggets have been banged up and getting annoyed of talking these fall damage reports, but got to do it again. Nuggets are winning games though, and being a little banged up.
This time it's different. This time it's a little different. We're winning games, but that's about all that's changed.
Yeah, that's the only difference. And then lastly, we're going to cover Jokic making history again, as he always does. But let's hop right into things. Segment 1, Matty Ice, why don't you take us away with the 7-game heater that Nuggets been on? We're going to cover these last 3 games. What do you got for us?
So the Nuggets have played Friday, March 27th versus Utah. That came out with a 135-129 win. Jokic was the high scorer in that game with 33 points. The Nuggets played Golden State at home. 2 days following that, on Sunday, March 29th, they won 116-93. Pretty handily win there. Jokic, again, was the high scorer of that game with 25 points. And then the Nuggets went to Utah on Wednesday, April 1st, which was yesterday. And they won 130-117. A little bit of a misnomer there with the score. It was a closer game than the final score made it seem like. They improved to 49-28 on the season. Jamal Murray had 37 points in that game. We'll break them down a little bit. Versus Utah on the 27th, the first game of this 3-game stint. The first one at home, Jokic had 33, 15, and 12. Another triple-double. Jamal had 31, 6, and 14. He was 5 of 10 from the three-point line. Hit 50% there. Tim Hardaway Jr. came away with 21 points. He was 5 of 12 from 3. Versus Golden State at home, the 116-93 win. I thought this was a great defensive game from the Nuggets.
Absolutely.
Golden State still out a good amount of guys, including Steph Curry. So some notable stats for that one. Jokic did not have a triple-double this game. It finished with 25, 15, and 8. Jamal with 26 and 7. And then last night at Utah, the 130-117 win on the first. Jamal came away with 37 points. He's been on an absolute tear. 37-5 and 5, 10 of 16 from the three-point line. That is 62.5% for that game. Cam Johnson had a pretty sneaky Sombor double in there.
A little bit.
19, 9, 6, and 2. Was that 2 blocks or 2 steals?
2 steals, I think.
2 steals. Yep. Jokic with another triple-double, as always, 15, 17, and 12. He had only attempted 2 shots in the first half in that game, still came away with a pretty monster triple-double, and the Nuggets run away with that one in a 13-point win. Pat, take us on to section 2, because Jamal we got to talk about it. Jamal is having an absolute shiner of a year, and if he's not all NBA, like I said last pod, I don't know what is. But yeah, walk us through the 7-game win streak for Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal's been awesome for us. And, I love that in back-to-back weeks, we just get to glaze Jamal. I don't know if we have official title yet for our Glazing Jamal segments, but it's been really fun. Jamal Murray during the Nuggets 7-game win streak is averaging 30.7 points per game, 7 assists per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, zero point 0.7 steals per game, and 0.6 blocks per game. So he's stepping it up defensively as well. He's shooting 51.5% from three on 9.7 three-point attempts per game. Shooting 63.3% from two-pointers. 94.4% from the charity stripe, which has been awesome. He's
big.
known to be good at the free throw line. Usually sits around about 89%, 88, 89% on a full season. So that number's up as well. Shooting about 70% true shooting percentage. Absolutely phenomenal. And overall in the 7 games, he is a plus 68. Jamal Murray. What do you got on Jamal?
He's stepped it up, man. And I'll take it back to the quote that he had a couple interviews ago where he kind of talked about, he said, if I'm not having a great night, I'm paraphrasing here. If I'm not having a great night, then, Jokic kind of steps up and takes the lead. But if Jokic isn't having a great night, then I kind of step in there. And it seems like Jamal Murray's just been kind of taking the reins and saying, screw it. I want the ball in my hand. I want to shoot the ball. He has a ton of confidence in his shot. He's just had a lot of swagger on the court. There were the 2 games versus Golden State and versus the Jazz at home where he was just talking to the crowd, and just and I'm sure he probably would have been talking to the crowd as well in the last game against Utah. After the first 3 points, or after the first 3 threes he made, the first 9 points of the game last game came off of Jamal Murray in like the first 30 seconds. Jamal hit 3 threes, and he was kind of just like sitting there like mean mugging it a little bit. But I was like, man, if he was at home, he would be ripping in the crowd, just going crazy. So, man, all I can say is he's stepped it up. He is the Jamal Murray of the playoffs right now. Before the playoffs, this is what Nuggets fans have been wanting to see out of him the last 4 or 5 years. The last 3 definitely since the championship, kind of seeing how awful it was for him to come off of Team Canada stint and really suffer last year in the regular season. Definitely he turns it on in the postseason, man. So if we're seeing this out of Jamal Murray in the regular season, I can only imagine what we're going to see as he keeps this rolling into the postseason. But you had a little interesting one in here, Pat, for Nuggets franchise history with total 3-pointers made. What is this stat I'm looking at?
Yeah, and last night's victory, Jamal Murray joined J.R. Smith as the only players in Nuggets franchise history to total 10-plus 3-point made in multiple games in a season. Really cool stuff. I mean, anytime that you're in conversation with a guy like J.R. Smith, I mean, we kind of grew up, you and I, J.R. Smith was one of the guys that I first remember as a Nugget. Talk about a guy who would excite the crowd. J.R. Smith with that 3-point shot was amazing. And to see Jamal Murray do a similar thing, hyping up the crowd, it's really, really fun to see. So it's great to see Jamal alongside Nikola Jokić, as always, rewriting the history books of the Denver Nuggets. So that's a really cool stat for sure.
As we're on that, I want to bring this up, courtesy of StatMuse and Disney and the Denver Nuggets, all of whom are ads on this page. But this is from StatMuse, and I just want to show this because I think it's super interesting. This is Jamal Murray's shot chart from the season, and I just want to highlight the 3-point percentage here. In the left corner, Jamal is averaging about, what is this, 7% higher than league average. He's 11 of 24 in the left corner here. Left wing, he is sitting monstrously above league average at 47%. League average is around 34, so that's about a 13 and a half point swing there. 54 of 115 from straightaway 3. He's sitting at 41.5%. League average is around 35%, 51 of 123. And he loves this right corner. This is where a lot of his most of his 3-pointers are taken and shot from. He's averaging about 4.5% higher than league average at 39.7%, 94 of 237. And then this other corner here is averaging 56.8% shooting from this corner. He's 21 of 37, and league average is just about 38.6%. So I just wanted to show this as a just as a whole for Jamal Murray's shooting percentage. He's been absolutely incredible from beyond the 3-point line. And something that I think a lot of Nuggets fans really wanted to see is that, can Jamal Murray be a prolific 3-point shooter? Can he be that guy from beyond the 3-point line? You had Michael Porter Jr. in there for the Nuggets for a long time as the 3-point guy. You bring in somebody like Tim Hardaway Jr., who's a known sharpshooter in the league, and he's been helping you out a ton off the bench. But who is your starter that's going to drain threes? We thought maybe Christian Brown can come in and give us a little spark there, along with Cam Johnson. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is going to hit the threes that he does when he takes them. He's been a little bit off as of late since that injury, but man, Jamal Murray has really, really, really stepped it up this year, and I'd love to see it. In that graphic as well, he's shooting an overall 43.5% from 3 in 72 games this season. So
yeah, it's really amazing to see what, like you said, what he's doing from beyond the arc is absolutely incredible. The Nuggets absolutely need that spark from the starting unit, especially. And you pointed out, we're after losing, I mean, we didn't necessarily lose him, MPJ, but just having a guy that can be your spark from beyond the arc is huge. There's a serious argument to be made that he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. I mean, you could narrow it down to the top 3. He might be top 3 shooter in the NBA. But in the clutch, I just want to talk about Jamal in the clutch. Nuggets haven't been great in the clutch this year, but Jamal in specific has been pretty good in the clutch. He's second in the NBA in clutch points. He has 156 total clutch points, and he's behind SGA, who has 175. And this is really interesting to me because you think about who's first, who's second to get the ball in the clutch. A lot of times Jokic is getting the ball most of the time in the clutch. So for Jamal to have 156 total points compared to SGA, who is the first option for OKC at 175 points, pretty impressive stuff from Jamal there. Both guys, Jamal and SGA, are shooting about the same from the field in the clutch, but Jamal is significantly better from 3 in the clutch. He's shooting 42% versus SGA's 35%. So that was just some interesting stuff about clutch numbers for Jamal Murray. Like I said, I think and we've seen it even in the playoffs, he's one of the best clutch players in crunch time, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
all right,
let's move on.
Bring it on to segment 3. Pat, what do you got?
Yeah, segment 3, we're going to talk about Jokic rewriting history, ... again. As he does. Seems like he does this week in, week out.
Yeah, every week.
Night in, night out. Really fun stuff. But last night, after the win against Utah, Jokic joins Russell Westbrook as the only 2 players to average a triple-double in back-to-back seasons. Russ did this. He did this 4 times in his career, which is actually really, really impressive. You forget how good Russ was in those seasons that he was a star. I mean, even into the early 2020s, he was still having some crazy averages. But Jokic averaging a triple-double last year in the 2024-2025 season, as well as the 2025-2026 season. Last year, averaged 29.6 points per game, 12.7 rebounds per game, and 10.2 assists per game. This year, he's averaging 27.9 points per game, 12.9 rebounds per game, and 10.8 assists per game. So having a better year in terms of rebounds per game and assists per game. I'm honestly surprised at the points per game. is down compared to last year, but it makes sense. Jokic has had a lot more help this year from the second unit, and with Jamal Murray being, a legitimate all-star alongside him. So really fun to see Jokic doing Jokic things. And I still can't believe, we'll get into this in a little bit, that he's not one of the front runners for the MVP race anymore. Not that it even matters to us Nuggets fans anymore, but it's just getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And on to those MVP season numbers. In the years that Nikola Jokic has won MVP, there's been 3 of them. The 23-24 season, he was averaging 26, 12, and 9. So not a triple-double. He was
Not
averaging
a
20. The 21-22 season, he was averaging 27, 13, and 7. Not a triple-double. Although these points are higher, they're not. He's averaging more points per game now. I just think this is insane. The 2021 season, 26, 10, and 8. Not a triple-double.
Not a triple-double.
He's playing better averages. He's playing better. And I think just from the way that the Nuggets have been playing, they are first in the league in offensive rating. They are playing outstanding basketball with Nikola Jokic at the helm. And he is not a front runner for MVP. When all 3 of his MVP seasons, he did not average a triple-double. Let's get into this absolutely insane MVP race here. And we'll pull it up. But obviously, SGA is the front runner. This stat I'm about to pull up, if my computer decides to work here, is
you're good.
Is from DraftKings. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is sitting at a minus 360 odds to win the MVP. And then following him up is Victor Wembanyama at plus 280. I'm getting that stat pulled up here. And then Luka Doncic sitting at plus 1,600. And then Nikola Jokic plus 7,000.
That's ridiculous.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to start with this. SGA is averaging 31.6, 4 and 6 on the season. Wemby's averaging 24, 11 and 3, and Luka Doncic is averaging 33, almost 34, 7 and 8. I'm not gonna crap on these guys. These guys are all fantastic players. We know how SGA is a good player. We'll just put it out there right now. SGA is a good player. He does get to the free throw line a lot. He does foul grift a lot. But when you watch him play, he makes some pretty insane shots, man. And he's made them against the Nuggets. He's made them all year against a lot of teams. I dislike him for the way that he plays. But if you're going to say as a shooter, he's a fantastic shooter. I don't think it's enough for the MVP race. Certainly not following 31 points with 4 rebounds and 6 assists a game. There's other guys that average that I think are more apt for the MVP if you're going to go that way. Wembanyama is the only one in that category with Nikola Jokic that's even remotely averaging a triple-double. He's averaging a double-double, and he's sitting at 24, 11, and 3. Wemby's great, man. He's in his 3rd year. He's playing some incredible basketball. I just don't think he makes the guys around him good at the way that Nikola Jokic does. I don't think he's that valuable. The Spurs have an incredible lineup without Victor Wembanyama as it is. So do the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Luka Doncic sitting at 33, 7, and 8. Again, the Lakers have a great roster behind Luka Doncic, and he's been playing out of his mind. He's been playing incredibly well since he kind of came into his own this year with LA. So I don't know, Pat. I mean, I'm going to give you the floor here because I feel like I've been talking forever, but this shouldn't even be close, man. This really shouldn't even be that remotely close, and yet Nikola Jokic has fallen to 4th in the MVP race, and he's likely not going to win it this year. I just think that's insane. Stats and just the way you watch. The Nuggets, I'll finish out. The Nuggets would be absolutely nowhere without Nikola Jokic.
I agree. I just think that it is incredibly disrespectful that FanDuel and some of these other sports books have Jokic at plus 7,000 to win the MVP. I don't think he's going to win the MVP. Obviously, I mean, the analytics say so. And I mean, voter fatigue is a real thing. But come on. I mean, look at Jokic's averages. I mean, averaging a triple double at close to 28 points per game, close to 13 rebounds per game, and close to 11 assists per game. That's more than, like, he's not close to barely averaging a triple double. He's averaging a triple double with ease. He could go over in the next 5 games and still finish the season averaging a triple double. And he is 4th in the odds to win the MVP. You could bet $10 and win $700 for Jokic to win MVP if he doesn't win MVP. Won't happen. But it just, I just find that ridiculous and disrespectful in some way. But us Nuggets fans are used to it. I mean, the MVP race isn't all that, but it's one of those things that just kind of bothers me a little bit.
I 100% agree with you. And not, I should preface this. I think we would feel this way if somebody, we're big enough basketball fans to sit here and say, like, yes, we absolutely love and adore the Denver Nuggets. But if SGA was doing this, if Luka Doncic was doing this, hell, if Russ came back and did this year, we'd be like, give the MVP to that guy. He's playing absolutely out of his mind. And on a team where you don't have anybody else, if Nikola Jokic was not on that team, not on the Nuggets, you would have Jamal Murray, who's playing insane right now, probably get burnt out halfway through the season by the load that he needed that was weighed upon his shoulders without a Nikola Jokic type figure. And you're going to rely on Christian Brown, Cam Johnson. Like, those guys are great, but they are great because they are on the floor and they play with Nikola Jokic. It is no surprise and it is no secret to people all around the league that you get into a situation where you can play with Nikola Jokic and you do it. Players all around the league have talked about, I want to go play with that guy. I really want to go play. If there's anybody I could play with, it's that guy. Because of
LeBron.
the way he yes, we could get to that later, but we are a little bit past time here. Nikola Jokic should be MVP this year, but he's not going to be in one of the biggest snuffs in NBA history.
One last question I want to pose for you.
Sure.
Out of these surrounding guys that somehow are ahead of Jokic in the MVP race, Luka, Wemby, and SGA, who do you think is most deserving of the MVP over Jokic, and why?
Luka.
Okay.
Yeah. I just say that, and I'm, again, no disrespect to SGA or Wemby. Luka Doncic has been a pretty integral part of how the Lakers are in it this year. And he's been shooting lights out. He's come up with some clutch shots for them as well. He's brought the fire and energy back to that team, I think, a little bit. He's gotten himself into shape. His turnaround story is pretty incredible. I think he is probably the most deserving over those other guys. I think SGA is a fantastic shooter, but that's it. And Victor Wembanyama, I think, still needs to prove himself a little bit more before I pass the baton off to him. But it will get there. I'm going to say that right now. Victor Wembanyama will win at least 3 MVPs in his NBA career if he can stay healthy.
Okay. I like that take. I agree with you. I think Luka is most deserving, if not Jokic, for the MVP this year. I mean, in terms of scoring, rebounding, and assisting, his numbers are closest to Jokic versus the other guys. And I mean, LA's playing good this year. I don't think they weren't expected to play as good as they've been doing. And Luka's been leading the way for LA.
The 3 seed, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, and they're still, scathing ahead of the Nuggets in terms of that. And I mean, as much as we hate the Lakers, I mean, you got to tip your cap to guys like Luca and the Lakers for, taking care of business this late in the season. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there on the Luca stuff. But let's go into a fall damage report. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, Nuggets are a little bit banged up. You hate to see it this late in the season, but it's been the story of the season. Matt, why don't you take us through a quick fall damage report for the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely do a quick one. Zeke Naji's listed a day to day. He went down in last night's game versus the Jazz with a left hip strain. He kind of got landed on a little awkwardly. So he's day to day. Spencer Jones is also day to day with, can you guess, another hamstring injury for the Denver
Damn
Nuggets?
hamstrings.
We really need to look at our hamstring routine because it's not working. Tim Hardaway Jr. is day to day with some left knee soreness, and Peyton Watson is day to day with some right hamstring tightness. I think the last two guys, Tim Hardaway Jr., obviously he's a vet that has played most of the season. He is up for Sixth Man of the Year award. I think he should get that. He's been playing outstanding. But if you're taking as many threes as he is throughout each one of these games, coming down, landing on those knees, I don't doubt that he's a little bit sore in that left knee, and I think that was a little precautionary from the Denver Nuggets. And same with Peyton Watson, his right hamstring. I think that is I think that the Nuggets are seeing this as, if you have any tightness, if anything is going on and a little bit of discomfort, you're coming out of the game. And I think that's a great way for the Nuggets to play it. I don't think these are I really hope that I'm taking the optimistic side. I really don't think these are anything too serious as to re-injuring these injuries that have been an issue, especially with Peyton Watson. I think they were solely precautionary. Take him out of the game. Don't do anything. But it did. It was noted, I think it was either Spencer Jones, I think it was Zeke Naji, left the game in crutches. I think that was a point that I heard on DNVR. Very interesting situation there. I really hope that he can kind of be good to go by the playoffs, and that's not anything super crazy, and it was just precautionary. But I've never heard of precautionary crutches, so that'll be an interesting one to see. I really hope that he's good because we need that depth, especially at the forward position. Let's predict these final 5 games here.
Okay. Yeah, Nuggets play their next game Saturday. I mean, they've only played 2 games this week. It's crazy the amount of back-to-backs and crazy schedule we've had all year, and then the last couple weeks of the season, it's so sparse. I don't know why.
We might have one more back-to-back. Who knows?
Yeah, so somewhere hidden.
Who knows? Some game gets canceled and moved. Yeah.
But Nuggets play on Saturday against San Antonio. Should be a 1 p.m. game in Denver. It's in Denver, right?
It's in Denver.
Early afternoon game. And then Monday versus Portland at home at 7 p.m. Wednesday against Memphis, same thing, 7 p.m. at home. And then Friday, April 10th, against OKC at 7 at home. And then to close the season will be Sunday, April 12th in San Antonio. That'll be at 7:30 Mountain Time. Nuggets have the toughest...
Mountain Time. It'll be
6:30.
7:30 local time. It'll be 7:30 in San Antonio when that kicks off.
Thank you. Nuggets have the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. Obviously, they face San Antonio twice, OKC one more time. Matt, what are your predictions for the final 5 games of the season?
I have a loss coming up at home versus San Antonio. Denver just sucks in matinee games in the afternoon. So I'm taking a loss there. Portland, Memphis, and then the Nuggets will win out for me. Portland at home, Memphis at home, Oklahoma City at home. They're going to have nothing to play for. And then San Antonio, in San Antonio, they will also have nothing to play for. And Jokic is better against bigger lineups. He doesn't really like the small guard lineups. So I think having Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet, and Wemby will give him a little bit. He kind of looks bored out there sometimes. I think that'll get him mentally in the game. For those last 2 games, I think they win out after this next one versus San Antonio. But the Nuggets have 4 more games at home in a straight stretch until they take on San Antonio away. Pat, what do you got?
So you got him at what, 4-1
4
last
and
5
1
games?
last 5 games.
Okay. That'd be great to see. I also have them at 4-1. Nuggets are playing good basketball for the most part. Guys have been staying healthy. We'll see what P Watt's
Up until
situation is.
yesterday.
Yeah, I know. We'll see what P Watt's situation is. I think if P Watt is ready to go, ready to play against San Antonio, I think we do pull that game out. I was really excited to see that matchup, a healthy Nuggets versus the Spurs, because obviously you're going to have to find a way to go through the Spurs or OKC in the West. So I think we win that game if we have P Watt. I think he'll be one of the primary defenders against Wemby, and I think he's one of those guys that, nobody's going to stop him, but that might be able to contain him. So I'm going to draw that. I'm going to pencil that one in as a win as long as we have P Watt. It's a loss if we don't have him. Against Portland, a win. Against Memphis, a win. I think against OKC, like you said, they're not going to be playing for anything late in the season. They'll probably be resting guys. I think we take care of business there. And then against San Antonio, I could see us dropping that one, getting complacent at the end of the season. And it might be a good kick in the butt for the guys to say, hey, even late in the season, last game of the season, got to figure it out. Let's take care of business going into the playoffs now. So
yeah,
those are my predictions. 4-1. What would 4-1 put us?
53 and 53 wins on the season. 53 and 29.
Yeah,
not bad.
And it's not bad. Last week, we said if 52.5 was our threshold, right?
Yeah.
Last week, so we're like 50. If they could get 53, that would be a good high note to end on.
Yeah,
the rest
absolutely.
Of the season, so.
Absolutely. Well,
yep.
We'll see. Your Nuggets are streaking right now. I think they go take care of business. They've had plenty of rest, and hopefully those guys are ready to take on the challenge. And they have just a full slate of 4 home games in a row. So sleep in your own beds and get ready. Get ready for the next week. So
get naked because
get naked
because the Nuggets are streaking. I couldn't even say that.
We're at 31. We're at 32 minutes here. We're gonna wrap it on.
Also, the socials. Matty Ice, hit the outro music. Oh my god.
Oh, that was great, Pat.
That was fun.
A fantastic
that was really fun.
Call
Cheers.
out there.